Hello, family. It's the Healthy Life Coach 702. I'm the person that, likes to talk about people that have gone through traumatic situations, whether it's narcissistic abuse through the workplace, through relationships, or even, in a parental situation, you have a narcissistic parent. I also touch on topics dealing with, narcissistic abuse that may come, if you're dealing with an incarcerated person or post incarceration, and how that affects the families or, affects the relationships, including the children and, the family that's in the outer circle. And basically, today, what I want to talk about is, we're living in these end times, and we have to really be mindful and protect our emotional well being. And what I mean by that is, as you know, there are a lot of things that are going on in our world today, and many people have the notion that, oh, that doesn't affect me. Well, it does affect you, and how that affects you is on so many different levels. Starting with gas prices, food prices, just the cost of living. Period. As they say, we're dealing with inflation, and as things progress, things will progress where it will hit home as far as your pocket. And again, how that relates to narcissism. We have a lot of people in the world that think that they are higher than God. They think the world revolves around them, and they think they can control the world. And with that in mind, you have to be protective of your emotional well-being. And how do you protect that emotional well-being? First of all, you have to slow down. We're living in such a time where everybody wants instant gratification. They send you a text before you can even, allow a minute. Oh, I text you. You didn't text me back. Same thing with phone calls, emails. Everybody wants you to go, 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 go. Um, One thing that I learned when I was attending school at IIN, which is the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, based out of New York. And one thing that I learned was that, you utilize your phone mostly for outgoing calls. Don't allow those distractions from people calling you randomly. Sometimes, you need to take those calls, or you need to touch bases with family or friends. But it's a good idea for you to set up time that, is convenient for you to take calls. Like if you know that you get in at 5, and people are calling you at 5:05, maybe you can set that boundary and say, hey, it might be a good time if you need to touch bases. If you can call me after 6 p.m., I'm available for between 6 and 6:30, as I have a nighttime routine. And what that does is that gives people a heads up. That doesn't take you off your plans. Then you're not shortchanging yourself. Whereas if you're starting to take calls, say for example 5:05 p.m., and you're getting 3 to 4 calls a night, before you know it, it's 9 p.m. And you may have said, hey, I have a nighttime bedtime routine. I want to be in bed by 9:30. Well, in order to be in bed by 9:30, I may want to you know, invest a little bit more time on my self-care. I may want to take a 30-minute hot bath just to soak, just to decompress, just to check in with God and let him know what's on my heart, and the goals I want to complete, and to ask him to send the Holy Spirit to help me to achieve those goals. But if you're constantly allowing people to overstep your boundaries and to come into your world at any random time, then guess what? Your life, your emotional well-being is starting to get taxed, and that's not fair to yourself. Also, there are so many people now that, I know COVID has a lot to do with it. They've been inside, so when they come out, they're, don't exercise as much patience in driving, courtesy with letting people over, or you're, say, in the grocery store, they're trying to race you to the checkout. And, I get it. We all are short on time. We all are adjusting, and it seems like our new normals are changing on a daily. However, do what you can do to protect your emotional well-being, and don't allow those, rude or impatient people to ruin your day. So if you have to leave, an extra 15 minutes to get to your destination, to allow time for those instances, and just allow extra time for yourself, that will help decrease your stress level. That will help, again, to protect your emotional well-being. Also, toxic people. I can't speak enough about toxic people. um, as you know, they're everywhere. They're in our families. They're, in the workplace. They're in the schools. They're, you know, you could be at a business and you can overhear, employees, gossiping, having negative conversations, and um, as if you're not there as a consumer. Again, at all costs, avoid those situations. Some people that you don't know have to deal with, then sometimes you have to ask yourself this question: are they more of an expense to me, or are they an investment? Do they enrich me? Do they bring me joy? Are they uplifting? But if they're constantly, you know, taxing your mental, they're, causing you to be emotionally imbalanced, or they're causing you to make the choice to, give into anger, then you have to ask yourself, you know is it time for me to let these people go? Because, as my mother constantly tells me, we have less time ahead of us than we have behind us. So do you want to live your time letting other people take from you and constantly take from you? And it's on so many levels. Sometimes, especially we women, we want to fix, we want to be patient, we want to be that glue, but at what expense? At what expense are you going to allow, people to overrun your life? If you're having conversations with people and every time you talk to them, it's almost like you're talking to an attorney. You have to choose your words, ever so carefully, or you feel like you're in court and everything you say is going to be dissected. Or if you call them out on their behavior and say, hey, you didn't have to, lie to me about, you know, oh, you went to In and Out. Oh, you're teasing with them. Oh, you didn't bring me lunch. Oh, all I went in there for was just a soda. Now, if anybody that's familiar on the West Coast with In and Out, the lines are ridiculous. So who's going to just walk in and stand or sit in the drive-through all that time for just a soda? That's just an example of the lies that narcissists will tell you. Then they will turn around and say, it's not such a big deal. That's just where my mind was at. I didn't, I'm sorry I didn't tell you, everything that I ordered. No, and that it's not important what they ordered. What was important to you is like, you will lie about something as simple as you getting a meal and say you only bought a soda. So what else will you lie about? And then they will deflect from it. Well, you always tripping on this, or you're always complaining about this or that. Like, that's deflection. That's getting away from the topic. Or, well, you used to do this, or that has nothing to do with what we're discussing right now. So, you know, that's why I'm saying you have to protect your emotional well-being. And, we are, unfortunately surrounded by narcissists. We have narcissists as, in leadership. Everywhere you turn, there are narcissists. So you have to slow down, not letting people overstep boundaries. First of all, you have to create those boundaries and you have to communicate those boundaries. And sometimes you have to remind them. And then if they continue to overstep, you have to make that decision on whether or not you are just gonna, let that person go. And it's okay to let people go. I'm not saying every little incident that you have a misunderstanding on, that you just cut people off. That's not what I'm trying to get over. Sometimes you have to agree to disagree and just let certain situations go. But if it's constantly causing you anxiety, or you're questioning yourself constantly, or you're made to feel less than, then it may be time for you to let that person go. Again, protecting your emotional well-being, it means interacting with people that bring you joy. It means doing things that bring you joy. You may not be working the best job or the job of your dreams, But if you set those goals to get to where you want to be, you may have to work that job until you can get to your next phase. But you work it, and don't grumble about it. You still find the blessings in life. Whether it's not a job that you want, you have to say, well, Lord, I thank you for this job. I thank you for providing, the finances. Although it may not, you may need more finances, but providing what it does provide. If it provides gas for your car, if it provides income to pay utilities, if it provides income to pay your rent or partial mortgage, then you have to be thankful for that. At the same time, you have to go through that situation with a good heart, good mindset, and make your plans. And that means making plans for only allowing people in your life that will uplift you, that will encourage you, that will help educate you. It's people that you can learn from, people that you can offer education to, or share your experiences with, that can help uplift them or help them get through something they're trying to get through. Or maybe it's just your experience that will help them get to their next level. But when it comes to those that are always needy and have nothing to bring to the table, again, those are situations where you have to let go and let God. And when I mean let go and let God, that means you totally give that person, whether it's your child, your mother, your father, your sister, your uncle, your grandmama, whoever it is, give it completely over to God. If your mind, goes to where you're replaying those tapes of, mental tapes of what they've done to you, or maybe how they've hurt you and so on, you snip it in the bud, and just say stop. And then, just remind yourself, I'm letting go and letting God. Even if you can't think of all that, just Jesus, or whatever your faith is. But we have to stop allowing, these negative, toxic people, narcissists, try to manipulate and hurt us. And be mindful that a lot of them get a kick out of it. They sit back and laugh. It's a joke to them. They actually get a kick out of seeing you scramble. So what you have to do is you free up your time, be focused, be organized, stop being so much on the run, stop trying to be everything to everyone, because they're not, half of them are not going to, give you 5 minutes of their time, let alone you trying to help them figure out a situation, or trying to figure out how you can put off one of your bills to help them financially. Those again are examples of people that, in my opinion, are energy zappers. They will just zap your energy. They will use you up, and as soon as they're done getting everything they can get out of you, they're gone. Yeah, they're gone, and leave you high and dry, leave you scratching your head like, wow, I don't think I deserve that. I thought, number one, they were going to pay me back, or they said they were going to, do this favor for me if I did this favor for them. Again, slow down, get organized, make a list of what's important to you. Make a list of what goals you want, either career-wise or housing-wise. Where do you want to live? What brings you joy? What type of housing brings you joy? Do you enjoy apartment living? Are you wanting to move into a house? Are you wanting to own some property? Are you wanting to have land for gardening, or increasing it to farming, having some animals and stuff? Those are examples of what brings you joy, because God didn't put us on this earth to constantly be scrambling, to constantly scratching our head, and to constantly just be living to pay bills, or just constantly on the go, where you don't have any time to think. And when you don't have any time to think, that's when we make our most mistakes. So on that note, family, just be mindful. Just, I don't want to just point out all the negativity, but, we are surrounded by negativity. So, you can flip that by, continuing to, put positivity out in the world. Listen to your instinct. When something doesn't feel right, or you're like, don't downplay it. Don't do that. Listen to your instincts, and because that is, the Holy Spirit speaking to you. letting you know, hey, it's not something, it's something's not right with this person, something's not right with this spirit. And know that, you can't always believe what people say, and people, we all come with spirits. It can be spirits of good and positivity, or it can be demonic spirits, selfish spirits, out to get only what I want at your expense. So being mindful of that, no matter where you meet, or you can meet a person right there on the first row of the church, but that don't mean that they're really of God. That could mean they're just there, just like Satan. They say he was an angel, he's a fallen angel, so they could be there to be on the on the prowl. So in order to prepare yourself and protect your emotional well-being, you must, again, slow down, get organized. Even if that means that, for me, myself, I utilize my electronic calendar and my phone a lot. Sometimes you have to, even write it down on your refrigerator. And, you have to have good communication, communicate those boundaries. That's, very important, and not in a rude manner. Don't allow yourself to be so depleted where you become, rude and angry, and so on. By setting those boundaries up and communicating those boundaries and working towards those goals and always putting God first, those are the first and most important steps that you can make to protecting your emotional well-being. And at the same time, along with that, you must invest in your self-care. Your self-care has to happen on a daily. That can be something as simple as, hey, 5-10 minutes a day, I'm going to read on a topic that I'm really interested in, and get educated on there. I'm going to take that 15 to 30 minute bath. Or I'm going to take those extra 5 minutes, if I can only have 5 minutes in the bathroom away from my family, I'm going to take that extra 5 minutes and just relax, just meditate, pray, and gather my thoughts. I'm going to take that extra minute in the shower to release, to take some deep breaths, and just share my heart with God, wherever it may be. Or just like me, I'm in my mobile office, I'm in the car right now, I have some downtime, so I decided to touch in with you guys. And I'm going to make more of an effort and put this on my calendar to try to make at least weekly videos. But my ultimate goal is to get to the point where I'm making daily videos. But on that note, if you have any questions, please, leave them down below, or, you can email. I do respond. Please, put titles in the emails. I do, offer coaching, and it's based on, like I said at the top of the video, my experiences is dealing with, people that have been involved with people that are incarcerated, really they've been married, or in relationships with people that they may have never met prior to incarceration. I deal with topics that deal with people that have been in narcissistic relationships and have been victims of narcissistic abuse. And I also deal with people that have just been through a traumatic relationship, whether it was ended in divorce, and you're just trying to pick yourself up and move on. It may look like for you, you're wanting to move to a different state. It may look like you're just wanting to move to a different city, or you've been a housewife or house husband and just trying to figure out, hey, how do I market myself and become employable, and so on. So those are the type of people that I'm looking to work with as a life coach, and those that are wanting to um, combat what we're dealing with as far as inflation, and as far as a alternate therapy, and that's gardening. I work with people that are wanting to maybe first time gardeners, maybe are new to composting, and as far as composting with worms and so on. Those are the type of people that I like to work with. That is a passion of mine. I think that Anyone can garden. It doesn't matter if you're in an apartment. It doesn't matter if you're renting a room. It doesn't matter if you have land or you don't have land. You can start gardening at any time. As long as you have access to some water, some light, and some soil, you can garden anywhere. Starting even if you only have access to a windowsill. So feel free to reach out to me by email or, leave comments below. And on that note, I thank you so much. And if you have resonated with anything that I've said or want more information, want more videos on a certain topic, please comment on that. Please, change the color of the like button for me. And I'd appreciate you subscribing so I can put out more content that relates to what you're wanting to hear about. On that note, you be blessed and make sure you uplift someone, even if it's just with a smile. Everyone you pass, try to give them that smile, because you don't know what that person is going through. You don't know if that person's on the verge of committing suicide, and it's just like, if one more thing happens, so that's it, I'm out of here. You just don't know, and you could be the difference. You can be the difference by, like I said, something as simple as a smile, something as simple as holding the door, something as simple as you're in traffic and you allow that person to come over. You see that they're trying to come over. Yes, maybe they've waited till the lane ended and trying to bogart on you, but you can allow that, and you just don't know. You could be the change of someone's day. So on that note, you guys, much love to you. Be blessed.